You ever read a poem and just get chills? Where just a few words create this feeling so powerful it literally gives you goosebumps? Well, that's not magic. It's a craft. And today, we're going to open up the Poet's Toolbox and see exactly how they do it. So that's really the big question, isn't it? How do they take the same exact words we use for emails and text messages and turn them into something that can make us feel, make us think, and just stick with us for years? Well, the secret is that poets have this special set of techniques they work with. And honestly, the best way to think about it is like a toolbox, filled with these really specific instruments designed to shape language. So let's go ahead and open it up. So when you open this toolbox, you'll see it's kind of organized into two main trays. The first tray has all the tools for meaning. These are things like figures of speech that shape a poem's ideas and images. And the second tray, that's got the tools for music, which are all about controlling how a poem actually sounds. We're going to look at both, starting with meaning. All right, let's dive into that first tray. We're talking about figures of speech here. These are the tools poets use to paint vivid pictures and get ideas across in ways that are way more interesting than just stating the facts. First up is the simile. This is one of the most fundamental tools in the box. Its job is pretty simple. Make something we don't know feel more familiar by comparing it to something we do know. And the dead giveaway words are always like or as. Take this classic example. We all know what the sun is, right? It's bright, it's warm, it's life-giving. So by saying a smile is like the sun, the poet instantly, bam, transfers all those amazing qualities without having to spell them out. It's just so efficient and beautiful. Next to the simile, you'll find the metaphor. I like to think of it as the simile's more confident, bolder cousin. It does the same job, making a comparison, but it drops the like or as and just declares that one thing is another thing. I mean, think about that. Time isn't literally a person who steals things, but wow, this metaphor is powerful. It makes you feel like time is this active force that's taking things from you. Moments, youth, opportunities. It creates this sense of urgency that's way stronger than just saying, time passes by fast. Okay, another really cool tool in here is personification. This is where a poet literally breathes life into something that isn't alive. They give human qualities to objects or ideas, and it makes the whole world of the poem feel more relatable and emotionally charged. You can almost hear that, can't you? The wind doesn't actually whisper, of course, but using that word makes the sound feel so gentle, so secretive, maybe even a little bit personal. It's a much more vivid image than just saying the wind was blowing. Now, the next couple of tools are basically two sides of the same coin. They both play with scale and expectation. On one side, you have hyperbole, which just blows things way out of proportion for emphasis, and on the other side, you have understatement, which shrinks things down for effect. Come on, we all use hyperbole every single day. You haven't actually told someone something a million times. The point isn't to lie. The point is to use that massive exaggeration to show just how strong your emotion is. In this case, probably frustration. And then there's the flip side, understatement. It creates its effect by totally minimizing the reality of a situation. Saying it's just a scratch after a huge car wreck creates this massive gap between what's said and what's real. And in that gap, you can find humor, irony, or even incredible bravery. And that leads us perfectly to our next tool, which is irony. Irony lives and breathes in that space between what someone says and what they actually mean. It's a tool that really asks the reader to pay attention and read between the lines. This is the perfect example, right? You call your slowest friend lightning. You're saying one thing, but everybody, including them, knows you mean the complete opposite. It's a clever way to add some humor or maybe a little bit of a critical edge to what you're saying. Okay, now for a real mind bender, the paradox. This is a fun one. A paradox is a statement that, on the surface, seems to completely contradict itself. It sounds like it just can't be true, but it's designed to make you stop, think, and find a deeper meaning. This is a classic paradox. I mean, how can less be more? It seems impossible. But then you think about it. In design, simplicity can be more powerful. In life, having fewer possessions can lead to more freedom. See? The paradox forces you to dig a little deeper to find a hidden truth. And the last tool for meaning is one of the biggest and most important, symbolism. This is when a simple, concrete object is used to represent a huge abstract idea. A dove isn't just a bird, it's a symbol of peace. A rose isn't just a flower, it can symbolize love. Symbolism lets poets load a ton of meaning into a single image, giving their work incredible depth. Okay, let's close that first tray of tools and pull out the second one. We've talked about how poets shape what words mean. Now let's get into how they create music and make their poems a pleasure just to hear. You know, the music in poetry isn't always about obvious rhymes at the end of a line. A lot of the time, it's way more subtle. A great example is assonance. This is all about repeating the same vowel sound inside of words that are close to each other. It weaves this kind of hidden musical thread through the line. Just listen to this. The moon shoots through the roof. Can you hear that long ooh sound repeating? Moon shoots through roof. It creates this cool echo that slows the line down and makes it sound really melodic. That's assonance at work. And finally, we get to the absolute heartbeat of a poem, its rhythm. This is the basic pattern of stressed and unstressed syllables. It's that da-dum, da-dum, da-dum beat that gives a poem its unique energy and flow. Rhythm is the foundation. It's what gets into your body and makes you really feel the words, not just read them. And that's really the main thing to remember. None of these tools works alone. A great poet is like a master builder. They'll skillfully combine a tool for meaning, like a metaphor, with a tool for music, like rhythm. They layer them all together to construct something that's way bigger and more beautiful than any single part. So we've opened up the toolbox. We've looked at all of the different instruments that poets use to turn plain old words into art. We've seen how they shape meaning and how they create music. So the only question left is, now that you've seen the tools, what are you going to build?